Step 4. In step 4 we have our previous assembly from step 3. In addition, we have our flex cable here. We have our top assembly. We have our flex cable spacer with 2 socket head cap screws. These are 8/32 by 3/4. We have our flex cable tensioners with their accompanying screws. These are button head cap screws, 6/32 by 3/8. We have an IR transmitter with its corresponding screw. This is a 256 by 3/16. And the top assembly has its 7 screws, which are also 8/32, but these are by 5/8. So for this first step, what we want to do is we want to grab the flex cable and we want to orient the blue side. We want that blue side to face the PCB on the top assembly. And what we want to do is we want to lift the flap here, this little plastic black flap with our fingernail. Once that is loose, then again we'll orient the blue strip facing downward on the PCB, and then we'll clip it in place. It's just a latch that you close with your fingers. Now that has been installed, we want to grab our top assembly and we want to mount it to the top of the machine. But first, let's take a look at the components here. You can see that the screws are pre-threaded into the top assembly. They are loose, and that is good because we want this to be able to fit and adjust properly into the top of the machine. If these were tight, it will be pretty hard to get this in position. So make sure those are threaded and loose. Make sure you're not clamping any cables or wires. So once that's in place, we'll go ahead and grab our screws and we'll go ahead and thread them on the corresponding holes. We'll pre-thread them for now. We'll turn the machine around and thread the last 3. So we'll go ahead now and tighten all the screws into place. Remember that you have the other screws that were loose at the beginning. You want to make sure we tighten those as well. Now that the top assembly has been installed, we'll flip our machine 180 and we'll go ahead and put the flex cable spacer with their 2 corresponding screws. And this particular spacer will go on this side of the plate towards the left side. Go ahead and pre-thread the screws in place and finish it off with your wrench. We'll go ahead now and place our IR transmitter. Make sure that the connection side faces you when you install this. and that the bulb is facing towards the machine. Make sure to keep that nice and straight as best as you can. And there it is, assembled. So now we want to grab our flex cable tension clips, install them in the two other corresponding holes on the flex cable spacer. For now I'm going to leave them loose just a tad bit so I can actually insert the flex cable with ease. Then I'll just hand snug them at the end. Then lastly, we want to route our green button wire across the wire harness, and this is step 4.